Good news, everyone. It appears that the Democrats still haven't figured out why they lost the 2024 presidential election. And although it's true that some Democrats have been a bit more introspective about what happened, what went wrong, and what they can do to fix it, they're still arriving at incorrect conclusions. And in the meantime, the more radical left-wingers still don't have any clue as to what went wrong, right? So of course, I'm here to show you some videos on this topic, but before we get to the clips, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
I think we're down bad right now. We have to be honest about that. I don't like infighting for infighting's sake. I think one thing, though, that harmed the Democrats over the last couple of years was a lack of candor and not being honest with ourselves, that there were a lot of voters who felt like Joe Biden was too old to get another 4 years, and they were rejecting his candidacy. And you could see it in polling, and you could see it in primaries. And Democrats said, you know what, it's fine. Everything will be okay. Trump is bad, and therefore that will offset that. So I think candor is good. Getting back to first principles about who we are and what we stand for is important. We need to be a party that is pro-worker, that is anti-war, that is anti-establishment, that is anti-money in politics. And if it takes a little fighting to get there, I'm okay with it. But, eventually, you're right, we got to get our act together.
We were asked we were talking before the first segment, who the leader of the Democratic Party is. Is there a leader?
I don't think there's a singular leader. I think there are leaders like Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer,
AOC, Bernie Sanders. There's a lot of
like legislative leaders, people in Congress. But if you're looking to who's going to lead the party into 2028, there's a lot of potential options. But there's no one that.
Do any of you agree with Joe Biden that he would have won?
That was literally going to be my question. Thank you.
But you know what? His own polling showed that that Donald Trump was going to win 400 electoral votes, 400 plus. And this I don't blame Joe Biden for. His people, the people closest to him, refused to show him the polling, the real polling. So it wasn't until Chuck Schumer.
But at the end of the day, we know who won and we know who didn't win.
Right.
He is a white man.
Right.
She was a black woman.
And she still came within 1 million votes.
I think
voting for him would have eliminated racism and misogyny.
I think we can thank Kamala Harris for preventing what would have been a landslide that would have obliterated many more House seats and many more Senate seats. However, I will say this. If Joe Biden wants to spend the rest of his days believing he would have won, I think that's a gift we can all give him. I'm fine with that.
So the effeminate men you see on the screen there are the hosts of Pod Save America. They all worked for the Obama administration back in the day. And now, of course, they've gained some real attention among the left about being these people who can really understand politics, etc. Okay, but I want to focus first on what he said, right? The Democrats could have more candor with the American people. How about they stop lying to the American people, right? They're saying that the voters were upset that, yes, they recognized Joe Biden was too old, but the Democrat Party didn't want, of course, reveal that fact, as if they could have hidden it from anyone, right? So it was the out and out lies that people were tired of. And yes, it may have been beneficial for the Democrats to maybe be more fans of the working class, to maybe come out and be more anti-war, but they still weren't addressing the main issues, which of course was the wide open border, the rampant inflation, and the rise in crime. Okay, so you can say you're pro-worker all day long, you can say you're anti-war, but when you're not helping people here at home, nobody gives a crap about anything else when times were as bad as they actually were. So have all the candor you can have, but stop trying to lie to the American people. Stop trying to gaslight and say, hey, don't believe what's happening right in front of your face. And I love how Joy Behar has to come out and say, you know what? If only Kamala Harris would have won, that would have gotten rid of racism and misogyny in this country. Yeah, because that worked so good under Obama, right? We had essentially conquered racism in this country back in the early 2000s, but then Obama gets elected and all of a sudden, boom, it's back to the top of the charts. It's a mainstay on all of the nightly news shows, okay? And they used it for years as a cudgel against people who just simply disagreed with them or didn't like the way that Obama governed this nation, okay? So that, of course, was the big problem. And now, of course, we're supposed to believe that if only Kamala Harris would have been elected, these issues would have gone away. No, it would have been used as a cudgel again for the next 4 years. So thank goodness we dodged that bullet and we have Donald Trump who's actually out there getting stuff done. But of course, now you have to understand that, yes, Donald Trump is the cool kid back in town, as is pointed out here by Bill Maher.
Here's how bad the Democrats f***ed up. Trump is cool now. He's not just the most powerful guy in the world and just made himself like the richest. He's actually kind of at 78.
Yes.
I mean, rappers like him. The athletes are doing, I was making fun of him, 2 guys at one time. And now he owns it, and they're doing it. I mean, the Village People are gay for Trump now.
YMCA.
He's all.
That is correct. Pre-2016, of course, everybody loved Donald Trump. Rappers love to talk about him in their songs, and everybody watched his television shows. And now here we are after the 2024 election, and all that popularity seems to be back. So much so that even his silly little dance has caught on like wildfire, at least for a little while, among the pro footballers. Okay, truly hilarious to see, right? Watching all the Democrats' noses just kind of get rubbed in that simple fact that, yes, Donald Trump is back and more popular than ever. And the Democrats made him this way. The Democrats made him cool with all of their lawfare, because who doesn't love the underdog? Who doesn't love the outlaw, right? And of course, that's not the only thing. Donald Trump is showing the world what a president is actually capable of when he puts his mind to it.
It's a historical time, Laura. This is day 4, and he's done more in 4 days than Biden did in 4 years. This morning, he was in D.C. Then he flew to North Carolina to visit the devastation from the hurricanes. Then he flew on Air Force One to LAX, took Marine One to the Palisades to talk to the victims of this awful biblical fire. He talked to the firefighters and the first responders. I don't remember Biden doing this. He never even visited North Carolina. Kamala Harris, just right before the election, she finally went to visit the border. This is what competency looks like. I know we're not used to it in California. We're not used to it in the United States. And I know that people are just shocked how much he's getting done. He worked on all these executive orders, making sure that we're ahead of China in the AI race. So he's working on that. He's working on the southern border. He's working on the flood victims. I am just really proud to have our president serve and really care about the people of LA.
So how often have we heard that yes, Donald Trump has accomplished more in his first week as president than Joe Biden did in 4 years, right? In his entire career, okay? But of course, everything Biden was after was a net negative for this country, and Donald Trump, of course, is trying to actually help. And people are being really surprised at the energy, at the veracity that Donald Trump has. Because as you just heard, yes, he's flying out to North Carolina, he's flying out to California, he's giving rallies, he's giving interviews, and he's actually giving press conferences and answering questions. You could count the number of times Joe Biden did that on one hand. And of course, anytime Biden actually did do an interview, it was heavily curated and edited. Okay, but here we have Donald Trump, unscripted, unfiltered, out there doing all kinds of good works for the American people. And even former Democrat Obama fundraisers like Allison Hune here have to admit that yes, Donald Trump is in fact doing a terrific job, getting more accomplished than any Democrat ever hoped to, which hopefully is just a sign of the things to come. And I'm also wishing that the Democrats still never learn their lessons. Please keep running on open borders, keep running on endless wars, keep running on raising taxes to help out illegal immigrants, because you'll never win another election. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.